is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
This
is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. What's going on, everybody?
Hey,
Huh?
you're already just holding your mug like you're in the office break room already.
I thought it would look casual.
All right.
Hey, everybody.
Just
Good morning.
put the logo closer to the camera.
Daily Blast Live. All right, guys, let's get to talking. Did you all see Dave Chappelle's opening monologue on Saturday Night Live over the weekend? I did. We all watched it here. He began by mocking Kanye West for his rants against Jewish people, but then Chappelle pushed the envelope further. Let's take a look.
I've been to Hollywood. This was just what I saw. It's a lot of Jews. Like a lot. But that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? There's a lot of black people in Ferguson, Missouri. Doesn't mean we run the place. He had broken show business rules. This is a rule. You know, the rules of perception. If they're black, then it's a gang. If they're Italian, it's a mob. But if they're Jewish, it's a coincidence, and you should never speak about it.
Okay, so in response, the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League tweeted, "We shouldn't expect Dave," just going to roll that prompter real quick, Chappelle to serve as society's moral compass, but disturbing to see SNL not just normalize, but popularize anti-Semitism. DBL Nation, we want to know what you think about this. Was Chappelle's monologue offensive? Was it not? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in as we talk about this. We want you to be voting, so go ahead and have your voice be heard. Al, comedian, funny man, what'd you think? Were you offended?
I was not personally offended because I've heard a lot of, I came up in an era of comedy where people said things that literally I could not even kind of work around to say on television, and it was normalized. They said I'm into a microphone on a Friday night and no one cared. We have all evolved in thought and changed. You know, we've learned that some of our words can be hurtful, but now I feel like, and I'm really worried about where we're headed with this. I tell my daughter all the time, being broken and being whiny is not a personality. Your personality is the sum total of all your experiences. And now I feel like being offended is who you are. There is no doubt that people watched that monologue and they were ready to be offended. They were ready in his last special when he talked about his experience with his trans friend. And then we found out later most people didn't even watch it. They just caught a clip where their friend told them enough where they could be offended. And it's this weird thing where I feel like there's a community of people that are just outraged all the time. Mm-hmm. And people like to be in communities, but what it does is not only does it hurt, I don't care about the whole, my free speech. What it does is it just hurts nuance, and it hurts the idea of us being able to laugh at certain things and have fun with certain things and step back and discuss certain things. Now it's just like, you can't say that word. Well, George Carlin's had a couple bits about like, well, I'm going to say it now. And now what? And that's where we are. It's just this line that doesn't have to be. I am all for people being offended, but make sure when you use that word, it means something.
Listen, man, I couldn't agree more with what you said. But Tori, as a Jewish person, where do you stand, right?
Okay, so I watched the whole thing live. And if you didn't know, I was a stand-up comic, not a good one, but I did dabble in stand-up comedy.
You did stand-up.
I did stand-up,
yeah.
And I'm very worried about saying this because it's conflicting me, but I'm worried about, you know, who I represent.
And I think that's the problem. Just say it.
I did not find it at all offensive.
Okay.
I didn't find it in the least. I found it funny, and I know that you are allowed to have your own opinion about it, but I felt like he was a surgeon, surgically skating around, never going anti-Semitic, saying things that people say to make us laugh, skirting it was masterful to me. It was precision, and unlike Kanye, which was straight up stupid, ignorant, and anti-Semitic, I felt he was touching on the societal climate at the time, which is a comic's point of view, isn't it? Isn't that what we want from a comic?
I think it's a great description.
Thank you, I appreciate that. What do you think about this, Jeff? That he doubled down on something that we've already been talking about, right? Like Kanye and doing that. What do you think about his choice?
You mean being timely?
Yeah.
And current?
Very fair.
Listen, people, like Al said, want to be offended, okay? I don't mind if you want to be offended for something, but when it starts seeping into the real world, when CEOs start firing people around the office for what they said to protect their own image, right? For something that's totally ridiculous, when hosts on television continually get fired. It's a scary place. Chappelle did say at the end, and I'm going to quote him, "It shouldn't be this scary to talk about anything. He is pushing the envelope, right, where we are in society. As an artist, right? Al, how long do you work on a special? Maybe a year before it's perfected? He turned this thing around for SNL on a 15-minute stand-up skit, which people don't get that long in the beginning of SNL, and put out this whole thing. And like Al said, it didn't matter what he said. People were waiting to be offended. Now, if you were offended as a Jewish person, that's fine. That's your right to do so, and I'm not mad at you. But if you just want to be offended for the sake of being offended, it's gone too far. It's gone too far at this point. You're not allowed to talk about anything. I even have examples of shows that are on the air right now of just different stereotypes that are funny. But me just saying that, I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little bit scared to reference a stereotype that might be funny these days.
I think
what you're saying.
Jeff, you just made me think. I've talked to so many comics in the last 6 months, and we've talked about how different doing stand-up is. Because sometimes you just get up with an idea like, I want to make a joke about mugs, but why do we have those instead of the, you know, but instead you're like, I have a job like I have here. I have friends that are in movies, television, and you're so scared to say anything, and you can feel it sometimes with the audience. There's a different vibe when you're in a room with adults rather than being online, where everything is in context. You are almost flowing without being too melodramatic. It's like as one organism where you guys are understanding that this is
it's a conversation.
Rolling kind of emotional conversation that we're all having, and I'll be hitting on parts that are some are sensitive, some are not. And that's really where I feel like things fell apart when we allowed people to start taking phones and recording these contextualized conversations literally out of context on your phone, and then take them out of a nightclub and put them onto a white background on YouTube, and then we go, well, can you believe he said that?
Right.
Well, yes, when you carve out one or two things that are out of context, this is what we're going to have. And now people being offended is a business. There are people that retweet, and I go out and fight injustice, and now it's just like anything else in the United States. It's a business. It's somebody that's searching for the next thing that was offensive, and that's bad for people that just want to go out and have a good time, because I'll tell you, your comics are not having as much of good times as we used to.
I appreciate hearing that. The poll result says, was Chappelle's opening monologue offensive? 83% of you say no, 17% of you say yes. Some
That's
people
about right.
And
That's
I want to let
fine.
you know, some people on Twitter are saying this normalized anti-Semitic structure and feeling, and it's been mainstream, so I want to give those people their chance as well. Everything is okay to say, it's that we're having a conversation. We're engaging. That's the point. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Knots Landing star Lisa Hartman Black. She's telling us all about what it was like being on the hit 80s show, and Democrats keep control of the Senate, defeating several Trump-backed candidates. Did Gen Z help the Dems resist a red wave?
I don't know her. There's going to be a lot of internet chatter. That's where the red flag goes up.
We are never going to agree on this. It's ignorant, and for me, it was just like a damn shame.
Tell me I need to do something, I'm going to do the exact opposite.
You know why I don't call in sick? Camera hog. That was funny when you like Kanye said, if you're a billionaire, you don't put your chain. So in the beginning, he puts his chain in, and then Kanye lost his billionaire status. So at the very end, he's like, put that chain back out.
You know what's funny? He hit the punchline, right? But like no one really got it, and I was like, that was funny, and no one really left. And then he pulled the chain out, and everyone's like, oh!
And then he talked about Trump. I thought was interesting when he said, Trump said at the debate, "I know the system's rigged because I use the system." Dang! And that was so true. And he said it beautifully in a short sentence. And then he goes, and then he walked back into the house and kept going and played the game. Yeah. And I just thought he touched on everyone. I think he touched on things that I just thought he was surgical about it, and not messy or sloppy. But like you said, he had very short amount of time to do this.
Yeah. How long does it take to put together like a 15-minute tight skit?
In the heyday of late night shows when everybody wanted to do Jimmy Kimmel and Fallon, I know comics that I think mentally destroyed themselves trying to get that perfect 5-minute set, because they would give you notes. Tori, can you move your second line to the last line?
Yeah, right. Just let him do it.
Take out the stuff about your dad. You're going at 4:58. We need you to come in at 4:56. It was like a military strike. So, and that was a 5-minute set. It would take 6 months. Yeah. 6 months of 5 sets a night for this 5-minute chunk. To get 15 minutes where you are talking about a field of landmines.
Right. And you know it's coming for you. You know you're stepping on it.
You know 100% of people are not going to be like, well done. We all agree.
I mean, he took out a disclaimer in the beginning and was like, I'm not anti-Semitic.
Well, that was funny.
Which was funny because he's like, that's how you buy yourself some time.
Yeah.
That's really, really funny in a way of like, a twist on what society is saying to you without being anti-Semitic as a Jew, in my opinion.
He was dirty. Stand by.
Welcome back. Good convo. People still writing in. Keep going on YouTube for us. Welcome back, though. Big news from over the weekend. The Democrats will keep control of the Senate thanks to wins in Arizona and Nevada. The House, though, is still up in the air, with Republicans expected to take it by a slim margin. Also, we're now learning Gen Z. Woo! Those voters turned up in near record numbers this midterm. 27% of Americans between 18 and 29-year-old cast a ballot, with 2/3 of them voting for Democrats. So I want to ask you all the question, the panel the question, was this younger generation responsible for stopping the red wave? I did find out it is the second highest for the younger generation. They voted the second highest in midterm selection in the past 30 years. So they came out in droves. What do you guys think about this? The Gen Z vote.
I'm so excited about it.
Are you?
Yeah, just like voting in general.
Text me 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, this was like.
You woke me up this morning.
I didn't sleep this weekend. I didn't sleep this weekend. When the stat came out on Saturday, I was like, wow. So, but yeah, of course, right? If more people voted that are Democrats, of course that counterbalanced, right? That means more people are voting. That's good. You should use your voice to vote for what you want. I don't know if you want to break it down into generations or whatever, who votes for who, but go vote. And the more people that vote, guess what? The more votes you get.
See what he did there? He made some sense. What do you think about this?
You know, it's weird because I've always wondered why we don't talk more about certain demos. We always hear about suburban moms, you know, the evangelicals.
Yeah,
we always check, you know, to see where they always have Latinos, like where they voted. But, you know, I drive around Torrey and I see not houses. I see a ton of apartment complexes going up everywhere that we live. And I think the reason for that is we are dealing with a generation of people that are now in their 26, 27, that they don't expect to ever have a house. So you see, why are there so many apartment complexes?
They can't afford one. They know it.
None of my parents' friends that were 37 lived in apartments. Like everybody had a house 30 years ago. And they know people can't have that now. So I think there is now a new demo that people need to start talking to. It's like, hey, are you tired of like trying to put in for a house and knowing you have no chance, even though you work 2 jobs and your spouse works 2 jobs? And you have no kids and you still have no chance to get a house? Well, we're going to talk to you. So maybe we're going to stop just talking about the old school, you know, Latino, Gen Z, not Gen Z, but, you know, religious, and maybe start talking to this new demographic of Americans that's coming up that's got a lot of disposable income because they don't have kids yet and they don't have a house, so they probably just have an apartment. So, like, how do I talk to that group? So maybe they're just making themselves known, like, hey, look, talk to us in the future and maybe start getting us into some homes and we'll start putting some votes in your ballot.
Like a vacuum that an industry could pop up for. I also think that if Republicans want to continue to stay in the game, they have to restructure the way they speak to young people. Obviously, young people are taking to the Democratic message more. I think abortion was a huge issue. And I think allyship is also a huge issue.
Can they talk to young people without addressing abortion? How could they possibly make that okay?
And maybe that's why they didn't address it, but it felt like a big population was left out of one party's conversation. I also think people thought Latina and Latino votes would go for pro-life, and I think they underestimated women still wanting to be pro-choice.
Do you think they're negatively speaking to them by saying that they're anti-student loan forgiveness?
I think they're negatively speaking to them about no gun control on the table. These kids just want to like live to recess or lunch or whatever, and I find it odd that no one has put that two together. They're 18, they can vote. Maybe come together and understand that's an enormous pocket that everybody seems to be missing. Everybody except liberals. We'll see about that. Coming up on DBL.
Found that word.
I know. I was like, I don't want to say it, but I'm like, who's talking to them?
And recess voting talk is all the norm. My kids, like, they can't get enough.
I love recess voting talk. We talk with singer and actress Lisa Hartman Black all about going on tour with her husband Clint Black. It is good.
We're talking about more than $12 billion raised for federal elections this cycle. So far, at least about $7 billion of which was spent trying to win elections, leaving about $5 billion left over. We turn to these sources to verify what happens with all that money. Congress established the Federal Election Commission to set standards for how political money can be used, and today federal campaigns operate under FEC rules. Campaign committees can return excess funds to donors, but FEC rules also allow surplus campaign money to pay for things considered cost of doing business, like a candidate's travel and moving expenses and gifts to non-family members. Donations to charity, donations to state and local candidates, and transfers to party committees are also allowed. Sarah Briner with the nonprofit campaign finance tracker Open Secrets says leftover money can also fund future campaigns.
There are a lot of races this cycle that show indications that people are really looking more towards 2024 than 2022.
Briner says money is often moved around between different types of committees and accounts, each of which has different rules for giving and receiving funds.
If you have millions of dollars left over, you're still subject to the limitations on giving to a specific political group.
The FEC explicitly prohibits using money raised for federal campaigns for personal expenses, defined as costs that would exist, quote, irrespective of a candidate's campaign or job, like their mortgage or kids' tuition payments.
I don't think that becoming a politician and using political committees to make yourself wealthy is a common path that doesn't have a detour in jail.
Though candidates can receive a salary from campaign money, those checks must stop coming once they're no longer considered a candidate. Individual states will have their own rules that will largely mirror federal laws when it comes to campaign money. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Welcome back. Playing CG and Kathy in Knots Landing launched her career, and now she's taking her singing talents on the road with her husband Clint Black and their daughter. Earlier, we spoke with actress and singer Lisa Hartman Black to hear all about the Mostly Hits and the Misses tour. Check it out. Actress and singer Lisa Hartman Black. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. So I want to ask you, the Mostly Hits and the Misses tour, it includes a little nod to your time on Knots Landing. You said you had an amazing time there, but you also had amazing hair and outfits on the show. So we were wondering, Sam and I mostly, did you get to keep anything you wore for the show?
You know, I just happen to have something right here. Oh. Funny you should mention.
Oh my word. How cool would it be?
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is the donut dress, yeah.
Do you ever put it on? Yeah, just by yourself?
That would be kind of creepy, don't you think? But yes.
I think you're right. Just in the mirror, just dressing yourself.
With that outfit, that's insane.
I know it is. I had actually Lily put it on the other night, and oh my gosh, it was an emotional moment. It's great that I still have it and that it's still intact and that the sequins are still on it and everything. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Oh, you guys have? Oh, you're so sweet.
What a rock star!
I looked for. I know, right? Yeah, it was like a little space dress.
That's fabulous.
I dig it. I dig it. Now, you know, you guys are on tour, but everybody knows being on tour, the show's just a little bit. A lot of it is having fun off stage. Yes. So we know your husband Clint is hilarious. So there's got to be some goofing around while you guys are on tour. So I have to know, what's the best prank that's happened so far?
Well, there are many, and we prank at home and on the tour, on the buses. He's constantly in it. He never lets up. But I brought a rubber rat out on the tour.
Yes.
And it moved around, basically. And it started at the foot pedal of one of the musicians. And he found it during the show. And then they come and go from the stage a couple of times. And so then it ended up backstage, and then it ended up back on the stage. It ended up in a shower. And, you know, Clint found it in the shower and just walked out and went, really? You know, so it's hard to get him. It's really, really hard to get him. But we got everybody else, and they got me back, so it's going back out this time.
Let's go. I love it.
I'm a big prank guy. I love pranks. I also have, like, a lot of weird rituals that I do just in my daily life. Do you have any weird family rituals you do before going on stage?
Well, the ritual, we do, you know, the normal work and the warm-up and all that, but something that Clint started, actually, he's in a different location from us because he opens the show, and he texts both of us, Lily and myself, and then, you know, just be out there, something sweet, and then Lily will go backstage to always watch her dad make the entrance, and it's just every night, it's that moment. It's those little jitters and the excitement of going out and being together as a family and being able to share this. It's wonderful.
See, See, that seems like a dream to me.
That
Like, my
is-
daughter's 5, and I already think about I don't ever want her to leave the nest. So I have to ask you, your daughter's 21. Did it take any convincing for Lily to join you and Clint on tour, or was she just excited to be with you both as well?
No, she's been a little entertainer since she was a little bitty. She used to run around the house and become Lily the vet or Lily the concierge, and she'd go into all these accents, and little Clint and I would look at each other like, oh my God, we're in trouble. And I would love for her to be a veterinarian. Can't you just do that? But she's hell-bent on it. She loves tour. She sings, and she plays trumpet. She plays drums. She's playing guitar now, and she's working on her writing skills, and she's got an EP coming out actually tonight at midnight.
Wow.
Whoa.
Go, Lily.
I know.
Yes,
Where can we
Lily.
find it?
Wait,
Tell
let me
us all
tell
the
you, because
details.
I have more about that. It was just announced Lily is releasing a 3-song EP that includes her first studio recording, and it is written by Clint and David Foster, who is an icon. So what a special moment for Lily. I wanted to ask you, were you in the studio while she sang, or does she need, like, everybody get out?
No, she's a social butterfly, and that's going to serve her well, in this business. But we were all in there, and it was just great. She's doing songs from the tour, and then, as you said, this other song, "Never Knew Love," and we had a moment, a big hug in the beginning. Here we go, let's pull the trigger, let's do this, and then it came time for overdubs, and Brent Mason was in there, and he was doing these guitar licks that were so fast that we were just like, our heads were spinning. So there's so many great musical moments that for her especially to experience for the first time.
Lisa, it was so great talking to you today. You look fantastic, by the way. To our viewers, you can visit clintblack.com/tour to find a Mostly Hits and the Mrs. Tour stop near you. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Today's Sandals word of the day is relax. Enter at dailyblastlive.com/sandals for your chance to win a 4-day, 3-night escape for 2 to beautiful Curacao.
Slavery may sound like an issue of the past, but ballot measures in 5 states show it remains relevant in 2022. You might have seen this viral tweet out of Memphis announcing that slavery has just now been banned in Tennessee. Some people replied to that tweet saying, as surreal as it sounds, slavery remains technically legal in the vast majority of states. So is that true? Are some forms of slavery still legal in America? To verify, we read the U.S. Constitution, several state constitutions, and the ballot measures in question. And we spoke with one of the lead supporters of those measures. The form of slavery that most people are familiar with in American history, where human beings could be considered legal property, is called chattel slavery. That was banned in 1865 when the 13th Amendment was ratified. But the text of the amendment contains a huge exception. Here's what it says, quote, "Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction."
And so what that means is that so long as you've been convicted of a crime, you can still legally be enslaved.
That's Bianca Tylek. She heads up Worth Rises, a group dedicated to prison reform. She says because of this exception clause, prisoners can be forced to work for little or no pay. So she and others are backing federal legislation to remove that clause. To do so would require another national constitutional amendment. Advocates are also working to change state constitutions, many of which have similar language.
Across the U.S., there are some states that explicitly allow slavery according to the same exception clause in the 13th Amendment. Others are silent on the issue, which means that the 13th Amendment basically reigns for all of its citizens.
And that's how we ended up with ballot measures like the one in Tennessee and 4 other states in this election. Voters approved all but one of them. 3 other states passed similar measures in the last 4 years. Prior to that, only Rhode Island had explicitly banned all forms of slavery.
Outside of those 8 states, slavery is certainly legal.
So we can verify, yes, some forms of slavery are still legal in America. Now, even in those 8 states, prison labor has actually largely continued as normal. Many states argue that requiring prisoners to work or face punishment still wouldn't legally constitute slavery. Those arguments will have to be hashed out in court. But in the meantime, advocates say removing any exceptions and unequivocally banning slavery is simply an important human rights issue. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
What you normally wear to the office is changing. Let's connect the dots. Open-toed shoes, visible tattoos, and jeans have become commonplace in recent years as society becomes more accepting. But there's also a pandemic component. As big businesses try to lure workers back into the physical office, they're doing away with strict dress codes. Even firms like Goldman Sachs embracing a more casual look. But some trends Gen Z is following in the workplace, shocking some of the older crowd. The New York Times reporting some younger employees now wearing crop tops to the office. The trend starting on TikTok, getting labeled as unprofessional by critics, as others praise them for breaking boundaries. The younger workers say it's not just about self-expression, it's also about money. Gen Z not feeling the need to buy an entirely new wardrobe as they enter the workforce, instead preferring pieces they can wear in more places. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Is the skin on your body giving away your age? Stop it. Thanks to Crepe Erase, you can have softer, smoother, visibly younger looking skin again. Crepey skin feels looser and more delicate and can be thin and dry and scaly. Crepe Erase is clinically shown to reduce the look of crepey skin instantly and over time. Now with age-defying peptides, True Firm Plus, and 12 super hydrators to lock in that moisture to visibly firm your skin. After just one use, 80% of users saw an instant reduction in the look of their skin. Millions of women have regained confidence in the way their skin looks. For a limited time, receive 2 free gifts plus free shipping with your Crepe Erase 2-piece system. Visit crepeerase.com today or call 1-800-220-9119. Need that for my neck.
Well done.
Everyone's looking at my neck. We do have some sad news, and I saw on YouTube our fans are already writing about it. John Aniston has died at 89 years old, and I know this is crushing for daytime viewers. He died November 11th. He was a Days of Our Lives legend, playing Victor Kiriakis for over 30 years, starting in 1985. He was recently honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Daytime Emmys. He was also Jennifer Aniston's dad. Here's a look at his iconic character.
What I want from you now is the truth.
No.
No, Caroline.
No, please, Victor,
Bo is my
please.
son, isn't he?
No.
Tell me,
no.
Bo is my son.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Man, that's great. Jen posted confirming her dad's death, saying, "You are one of the most beautiful humans I ever knew. I'm so grateful that you went soaring into the heavens in peace and without pain. I'll love you until the end of time." It's amazing because he means so much to so many, but to her, it's just dad.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know me, sorry, 89 years old. You had a great career, beloved. You went out without pain. That's a win for me.
You got to do scenes like that?
Yeah.
Tell
me now.
That was
Tell me.
That's on a life well lived.
That was. DBL is new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.